I've been writing my goals every single day for the last month and a half or so. So in this video, we're going to discuss how and why writing my goals like this has changed my life. Hi there friends, welcome back to the channel where we focus on productivity, self-improvement, and making the best possible versions of ourselves. The idea of writing my goals out was first introduced to me by Brian Tracy in his book Goals that I actually did a review on it. This video is sort of a sequel to that video. That video more covers the how to do it, and this video more covers the why and how it's changed me. So if you haven't already, I would encourage you to watch that video. You can find it down in the description or linked up here. Now, I'll be the first to admit that I was pretty skeptical when it came to writing out my goals. I think it's pretty much a normal response when most people hear this. But Brian gives a lot of evidence in his book as to why and how this actually works. And I do want to clear something up really quickly, and that is that I believe in the 1% rule, which is the idea that if you improve yourself by 1%, those small gains will add up to remarkable amounts of change. So when I say that my life has changed, I'm not saying my entire life got a facelift. I'm basically saying what my experience has been with this very small change that in turn has led to large amounts of change in my life, which is why I'm making this video. Let's cover the 3 ways that this has changed my life. We'll discuss each one individually, and I'll discuss how and why it actually works. How has this actually changed my life? Well, the first way that it has done it is in my reticular cortex activation. Now, what in flirtation is the reticular cortex activation? Your reticular cortex is the part of your brain that is responsible for your recognition and also for your awareness. And we've all experienced this to some point or another. An example from my own life would be I recently bought a Mustang, and now like everywhere I go, I suddenly see all the Mustangs everywhere that I never would have noticed before. Attention is the key to life. So whichever direction you're constantly giving your attention towards or focusing on, that is the direction you're going to go and who you're going to become. Activating this gives you a distinct advantage over other people because it makes you more aware to the situations, the people, or opportunities that present themselves in your life that would help you further along your goal or help you achieve that accomplishment. I've had a lot of examples of this where me observing a tiny little detail about a situation or a person or something has helped me farther along my passion, my video work, and exponentially helped me. And it's such a tiny little thing that 95% of people would totally miss it. And one of the best ways to activate this awareness for such things is by writing your goal. And this shouldn't be hard to understand because every morning, if you reorient your goal and your vision by writing out your goal, and then you finish out the day by reviewing that, you will obviously be keenly aware of all the situations and opportunities that present themselves to you that most other people are going to totally miss. And if you watch my other video on the goals review, I actually gave a real life example of one of my really good friends that dramatically changed his business, especially in the growth stage. Next, we have unshakable motivation. Second thing that writing out my goals did for me was give me a very strong sense of sustainability and also motivation to never ever give up on my goal. And here's why. This is so fascinating, but when you vividly write your goal over and over, it embeds itself in your subconscious mind. And there's a lot more that goes into this, obviously. The short form of this is that when you do this, you'll feel a bit of a mental shift. Your subconscious will actually latch on to that idea that you've been writing it. And the psychology behind it is that writing is a direct connection to your subconscious mind. And when your subconscious latches onto this idea, it will begin to believe in the idea, like 100%, and it will cogitate on it day and night without you even realizing it. You'll then be flooded with ideas, for one, and you'll also begin looking at your goal as a when, not an if. So like, it's gonna happen. And this is a huge shift. So think about this. If you believe without a shadow of a doubt that you will accomplish your goal, and it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when, it'll be way harder for you to procrastinate, because if you goof off and waste time, that when is being pushed farther and farther and farther back into the future. Like the farther away it's getting from you, the more you waste time here. And so it actually makes it really difficult to waste time when this actually happens, when it latches onto it. And not believing in a goal is one of the biggest parts of what causes procrastination, because if you don't believe in something and actually believe that it's going to happen, it's very hard to get motivation for something like that. And writing out your goals correctly, mind you, but writing them out is one of the best ways to kind of trick your subconscious into actually believing completely in a goal. The amount of motivation was just astounding. Like, it's really hard to put it into words, but it's just like this rock solid sheer motivation, like, and your mind just won't let you waste time. Like, it's actually kind of annoying sometimes because your mind will just be like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that. That's not going to help us get farther towards our goal, so we're not going to do it. Even like something like getting out of bed, like I now cannot lay in bed for longer than like 5 minutes after my alarm goes off, because my mind is just like, get up, you've work to do, like you have to accomplish your goal, come on, let's go. And I'm just like, fine, like I'll get up. Now, before we go into the last part of this video, I do want to take a quick little second here to remind you that a video like this takes around 10 to 15 hours to produce. So I really want to thank you for helping me along my goal of becoming a full-time YouTuber, whether that's through a like or a comment, subscription, or just a view on this video. I really appreciate it, and it really helps me out. So thank you. Now, I've titled the third part of this video, Targeted Direction. And here's the thing, it's next to impossible to hit a target that you can't see. By writing my goals every day, I've essentially forced myself to clear away all the clutter and illuminate the target and also the path of how to get there. So now I know exactly where I'm going. And this is really important because you're always going in a direction. Everything you do in a day is taking you in a direction. So by writing my goals every single morning, it clearly defines where my energy is best spent throughout that day. And it keeps me focused on spending my energy on the correct thing as I go throughout my day. And kind of out of this was born the question of, am I going in the right direction? Or is this taking me in the correct direction? I ask myself this when I'm trying to decide if something is worth giving my time to. If doing the thing is not taking me in the direction of my goal, I'm way less likely to do it, especially if it's something that's going to waste my time, like watching Netflix. And I mentioned this earlier, but again, the best part about this is that every morning I know exactly where my energy is best put. And then every evening when I review, I see, how I did, how the process went, and how I can improve it for the next day. So it's a constant upgrade each day of how I can do it better and better and be more efficient and more productive of accomplishing my goal and doing the steps along the process of achieving that. This small conscious choice every day to focus my energy on what is most important to me has had incredible results. It helps me live life proactively instead of reactively. And like I said, these aren't earth-shattering changes, but they are small changes that will lead to big changes. And I'm a pretty firm believer in that every single dramatic life change begins with a small change. And so by controlling those small changes, which are easy to control, like writing your goal like 2 minutes every day, and it can have a dramatic effect on your life. And that's what I felt like. It's such a small little thing that I do every day, but a month and a half later, my mindset is totally different. How I operate is very different from what it used to be. Now, there's a good chance that while you were listening to this, you thought of someone else that could also benefit from hearing about these small changes that lead to big changes. So if you did, I would really encourage you to send them this video. If they choose not to watch it or they don't want to be interested in it, that's totally fine. That's on them, it's not on you. But it's far worse if they never have the option to hear and to learn about this. So with that being said, gentlemen, as always, stay creative, and I'll see you in the next video.